again. Welcome to beautiful Bridlington. It's Thursday, the 21st of November 2024. Temperature -1°C. Real feel -10. We'll just take a walk through the harbour. This time I'll be filming on one continuous take rather than lots of little video clips because I'm holding the iPhone with gloves on, so I can't operate it. Actually, this is the best time to come to the British seaside, I think, on a nice, crisp winter's morning like this. Quite unusual to have a fall of snow these days. Winters have been relatively mild in the UK recently, although I remember when I was a child back in the 1950s, it always used to snow in November a couple of times back in West Yorkshire. Also, all sorts of things going on, trying to cancel the sound on my Apple Watch there. It's so difficult doing this with gloves on. I used to get this, we're quite familiar with this sort of thing, but watching the news, the news down in London, people seem to be panicking a little bit on the news because a few snowflakes were falling. But back in the day, we used to get snow that was over the top of our Wellington boots. Anyway, that said, here we are, Bridlington on a beautiful crisp morning. I don't think there'll be many people here today. Let's have a look at where we are now. This is the boat lift. Not much activity there, and it is a weekday. You see the famous Three Brothers cobble. It's a lot bigger than you would probably imagine, covered in snow. The water's quite high, so the tide, I'm not sure whether the tide's going in or out this morning. That's Gansey Lass, another famous fishing cobble. You can just see over there the fishing fleet tied up and the low winter sun as it shines over Bridlington this morning. Crisp snow underfoot. It looks as though it snowed here in Bridlington last night or the day before, and subsequently, of course, it's been freezing. That's my way up into town. Normally, you see, when filming with the iPhone like this, I would take 50 to 100 short clips on the different cameras and lenses the iPhone has, then stitch them all together using iMovie or another app. I'll just see how close we can approach this seagull. I can hardly stand up actually. That's because the iPhone, for all its other virtues, doesn't have a pause button, would you believe, on making a video. So when you're going to take a video, you've got to stop it and then restart again. You can't just pause it. It's had a cold job this morning, scraping the ice off the gypsy race dredger. Bridlington North Pier, looking absolutely beautiful, and it's basically frozen snow and a sheet of ice. I don't think we'll go up there this morning. And here we are, the beautiful cliffs of Flamborough Head and North Beach. I will take my gloves off just for one moment, just to show you the beauty of Flamborough Head, with snow augmenting the natural white colour of the chalk cliffs. The only other chalk cliffs are down on the south coast near Swanage and along the coast there to Dover and beyond. Beautiful, isn't it? Fishing fleet over there tied up. Everything is crystal clear, you know, the clarity, absolutely superb. And out there, out at sea, there's something happening. I will take a glove off again and try to just zoom in on that for you. Can you see the sea there? That's actually not Flamborough Head, that's the sea, and there's something happening. It looks like there are extremely high rollers or breakers out there. Bearing in mind the tide is relatively high, there must be some quite dramatic seas. You can probably just see it there. Again, that's not the land or Flamborough, that's that's out at sea. Wouldn't want to be out there in a small boat this morning, and I wonder if that's why the fishing fleet is actually tied up. Instead of sprinting up those steps there like I usually do, Let's take a walk along the front where the old floral pavilion used to be. Back in the day, back in the 1980s, I think a guy called Edwin Harper, if I've got his name correct, used to have a small orchestra in there. Was it a 14, a 16 or an 18 piece orchestra? Anyway, there was a talent competition once and I entered just on the spur of the moment, and of course predictably I came last. That was playing a baritone horn and playing Largo from New World Symphony. I was so nervous that I kept splitting notes with the brass instrument there, you know, I kept cracking a note up. I try not to remember that. Whenever Largo comes on TV or somewhere, you know, it brings back that memory. Absolutely beautiful Flamborough. You might think the sea's really cold, but the actual sea temperature here this morning is about 10 C. It hasn't had time to drop yet, the temperature of the sea. The air temperature of course drops first. Winter comes on, and then the coldest time for the sea here I think is about March, when it typically be about 3 or 4 C. The entrance to Bridlington Harbour. Looking south over there. I missed that. A load of snow just came off the roof and went down the back of my neck. We'll just shake that off and continue. If you're a fisherman, or you know the area, or you know the sea, you'll know there's something big going on out there, won't you? There's right out on the horizon there, you can see those low clouds. Below the clouds, I can see on the actual horizon line, it looks like the sea is waves about 20 feet tall. Of course, you've got the relative calm of Bridlington Bay, which has provided shelter for many ships during the days of sailing ships, and also a scene of devastation and disaster once when a lot of sail ships, I think carrying coal, entered the bay or were forced into the bay, and the wind was blowing onto the land, and they were all wrecked. And right to this day, coal still washes up on Bridlington Beach. Fragments of coal So it's a good question whether it's possible to walk up here without going flat on your back. I think I'll turn left here, and there you see the amusements for Bridlington. I'll try to go up the steps here. This is one of the toilet blocks for Bridlington, and of course with it being East Riding of Yorkshire, you don't have to pay for the toilets like you do if you go to North Yorkshire, such as Whitby. Spent my childhood in Bridlington, much of it, so I almost feel as though I belong here. My aunts had a sort of a wooden holiday cabin or chalet back on what is now South Shore Holiday Camp. It probably was Granger's or something, possibly at the time, and you would turn up from we lived just south of Leeds. But back in those days, in the early 1950s, it used to be a terrible environment there because of all the factories, which have now gone. All the factories and the smoke, and of course people had coal fires back in the 1950s, and it used to be terrible. But you could come here to Bridlington, and if the wind was actually blowing in off the sea, it was much fresher. And it was more than the equivalent of going abroad for a holiday is today. You know, the joy as a child of actually coming to the seaside. I remember when I was a couple of years old, 2 years old, discovering seaside shells for the first time, seeing the beach. Came here in an old wartime car, I think, initially. I can just remember that, one of those sit-up and beg ones that probably from the 1930s, and then in an Austin A40, the one with the column gear change. It is actually touch and go whether you can stay on your feet this morning in Bridlington, so I hope you'll excuse the rather shaky filming technique. This is Ramsden's, the pawnbroker, and it's some of the stuff in here is quite interesting. And I'll bring the video to an end here because I can hardly feel my hands even though I'm wearing gloves. So hope you enjoyed this crisp morning walk around Bridlington in the East Riding of Yorkshire in the UK, of course. Take care, goodbye for now.